Okay. Okay. IG good. Everything is connecting. Okay. All right. Let's see how long we can get through this. Okay. So the first topic. So I thought that was a interesting thing because I've seen that before where you like you like a person at a certain point in time, right? You might have a crush or something in that area, and after a certain amount of time, you're like, oh, okay, that was for that time, but now I don't, my preferences, my standards, whatever has changed. So I just thought that was an interesting thing that he put out there that I don't think a lot of people understand. Like, a person might like you at a point in time, but that don't mean they like you forever. You know what I'm
The,
saying? Like,
the like expires. Yeah, I'm with him. It does because like, I mean, some people they crush for a very long time, but I think for me, my friends be laughing at me. They be like, "Do you really want somebody?" I'm like, "I do." They be like, "Girl, you stop liking people after so long." I'm like, "Because I don't know. I just when I'm ready, I'm ready." And I feel like if you not ready at the time that I want you, we ain't aligning. So I'm gonna move on. Like I'm not finna chase nobody to get them to like me, and I don't think nobody else should either because I've had people try to constantly pursue me and go after me when I don't like them, and actually it's annoying. So I'm like, no,
mm,
like if let your crush expire. Like if they ain't bringing the same energy, move on because it starts to get annoying if you constantly trying to like force somebody or hope that somebody continue to like you, for a certain time frame. Like I ain't with it.
I no,
I ain't with it. I move on. Hey, all right, you don't like me when I like you, then hey, next lifetime.
you telling me next lifetime?
Next
Okay,
lifetime.
that's it. Like, hey, we done already went through that thing, and don't get me wrong, it might be. Look, on the flip side, it might be somebody that you always got a crush on. They ain't you ain't you ain't went through that where you like, oh no, I'm over that. It might be somebody you see. I used to tell my wife that like whenever we had first got together and we didn't know that we were gonna like be together, I was like, you might just be that girl I'm just always comparing to other girls to. Like, and I hated that. I'm like, what? I don't wanna be comparing all the girls to this, the top level of, girl. I'm like, all right, that I don't want to keep, doing that, but it's like, well, I mean, so like some people you don't necessarily get over, I feel like, but then again, I feel like, some people you like, all right, that was that time. That was just for that period that I liked you. And now I'm definitely not on that anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. My crush it don't last. It don't really last long. Like if I don't see myself with you after I had was crushing on you, then I'm kind of over it. The only even like if okay, say it's a long time. I was crushed on somebody a long time. Was trying to be with them or whatever. Mine turned into mine turned into like, what the hell do I see in you? Like, ugh. It don't never be like, ooh, I still like this person. So that's why I said my friends be like, you sure you want somebody? Because you just be getting turned off fast. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I do, but I just, again, if it ain't aligning at that moment, and that's probably a bad thing. I don't know, but I'm like, if it ain't aligning at that, if you don't want me when I want you, hey, next lifetime.
So does it turn you off because you learned more about that person?
to to me,
Or
yes, because I feel like I get to the point where I be like, damn, why did I even like you like that much? And I'm like, the more I get to know you, or the more I see, like some of them be like they be emotionally unavailable. So it'd be like, okay, either you was already still dealing with somebody and you wasn't over somebody, or you wasn't ready but you wanted somebody. You know how you just always want somebody on the side to be able to run to. So it'd be like it'd be a turn off for me when I feel like that's the road we trying to get to or something. I'm like, yeah, I don't crush that long on people like that.
you know what? That's so true. That's what I be thinking about when I think about people in like initial attraction. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always somebody who like on the first go, you like, oh, this it. They are so fine. Like I could see us together, and it be all this stuff. But then once you get to know them and the reality of who they are, not this fantasy of what it could be if they were the right person. I'm talking about the reality of them. And once that catch up, then it's like, oh no, that ain't this ain't it. You realize that real quick. That's why I be trying to tell people like when it comes to you being attracted to a person, that ain't the full story. Don't think that that's enough to pursue a person. No, you should be attracted to a person, but don't 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 push your feelings past just the initial. You see what you see, but you don't see even half of who they are in real life.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, it takes a lot more for you to me. It should take a lot more for you to be in pursuit of a person or even like attached to a person like that. Because
Yeah.
you just know they look good, or you might like how they personality is, but people run a lot deeper than that. You gotta really get to know what they got going on before you sit there and be like, oh, I want to be with them so bad. Man, it might be a trap. You know what I'm saying? Like it might be a trap you setting yourself up for.
Yeah, that's why I say my crushing on a person has a limit. Cause I can like you initially. I mean, you gotta be fine to me. Ain't no way I'm just finna. Oh, you're a great guy, yeah, but I don't like you. You're not cute. You're not handsome. So I'm not pursuing none of that. But I can like you initially and be like, okay, he fine. Okay, let's see what he got going on. And then when I start to see again, you're emotionally unavailable. You busy, we all busy, but you ain't not ever having that phone in your hand, to at least say, hey, I've been busy all day, blah blah, tired, talk to you tomorrow, just something, just like a decent adult conversation, or just etiquette, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, once you get to the point and it's constantly that, and I feel like I'm chasing you, the crush is over.
Immediately.
You gotta make some time. You gotta make some time. I'm sorry. I don't need your whole day, but you gotta make some time.
Oh yeah, even the busiest people gonna make some time for you.
Hmm.
Like they're gonna make sure. When I met my wife, I was working two jobs and going to school.
Hmm.
Believe I made that time. Believe we hey, even if we just texting, I
Hmm.
want to communicate with you because I'm trying to I like what
Yeah.
you're talking about. I like what I see. So I want to make sure. I want to see if it's you know uh see if we aligned on the things that we need to be
Yeah.
aligned on. You know,
Yeah.
and that's important. Like for and that's another reason I think it that the crush expires. Saying that the stuff be expiring because it's like,
Hmm. Yep.
hey, I didn't
And,
I didn't
and
spent this I didn't spent this time getting to know you or just watching how you move. Not even if it ain't like a close proximity, I might just be seeing how you move, and I'm cool. I'm
hmm
cool on that.
yeah, yeah. And some people stay forever. They some people like somebody so much that they just want them in their world. So some people will fight. They'll fight forever for that. That crush. Like, hey, do you by all means do you?
For sure, for sure. All right, all right. We got a comment. She said, "Can we talk about gaslighting?"
Ooh.
Oh man, look, that's
What
funny because
what's your question specifically, Ashley, about
yeah,
it?
yeah. What about
But I'm
gaslighting?
gonna say a lot of people do it. A lot of people do it, and I've said even before, we gotta realize gaslighting is not just a relationship thing. Friendships gaslight, friends gaslight, family gaslight. Gaslighting is a. Some people, I feel like they don't even know that that's what they're doing because they just so used to just saying whatever to get their way or get somebody out their face.
Mm,
So I feel like when people are gaslighting and constant gaslighting, that is a sign right there they're not committed, they're not honest. They gonna tell you what you want to hear just to shut you up, and that's not a type of person that you need to be building with, even friendships. Like, no, we gonna have them hard conversations. Ain't no telling me what I want to hear so you can shut me up and think we gonna be able to be cool or lovey dovey just because you told me what I want to hear. Like, that's gaslighting. We
yep,
gotta address the problem. We gotta address the root. That's what them hard conversation is.
yep. Very, very true. And like you said, if you really care about me, you're not just gonna tell me all the stuff I want to hear, you know. And I don't, e- I, and thinking about romantically, even a person who initially meets you, if you stand for something that goes against what I stand for,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm not saying we got to argue. I'm not saying we got to, but we need to at least to be said. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be said that, hey, all right, I can't get down with you on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging you for how you want to live your life, but I just don't get down with that. So when you got somebody who, no matter what you say, they with the whole thing, they like there's no other difference of opinion. You got to ask yourself at the point like, are you okay? Are you being honest? Are you being real? You know what I'm saying? Are you just saying stuff because you want to get me on your side, or you want to manipulate me or whatever? Like at some point, you got to take a step back and say, okay, you're not being honest. You're just agreeing with me on everything.
Yeah.
You know,
So
and
not only
people don't
that,
want to gas. No, go ahead.
gaslighting is dangerous too because when people are gaslighting you, they trying to. I know you don't curse, but they trying to fuck with your mind. Like, they really trying to play you and make you question yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a different level of manipulation because you're intentionally trying to make me seem like I'm crazy. So it's like that is that one is tough. That one is tough because a lot of people will gaslight you and you don't even know that's what's going on. And then you'll start questioning your reality. You'll start questioning. It's okay to say, like, this is what accountability is. I'd be like, okay, did I really say that wrong? Was I really tripping? It's okay to question yourself and hold yourself accountable. But when you know that you know that you know the reality of something, and somebody just they literally trying to paint you out to be crazy, that's gaslighting. They're gaslighting you. Like, no, that's like, come on. At some point, we got to come to the agreement that I ain't the only one crazy. If okay, I'm crazy, all right, cool, but we both crazy. Like, come on, let's admit that we both crazy. I ain't the only one up in here, you know, saying stuff that I shouldn't be saying, or seeing things that you saying ain't happening. Like, come on now, we not finna do that.
Yep, yep. And like you said, you should. There's no way you can tell me how I feel and what I meant by what I said. I mean that's up to me to say. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So when people telling you that no, you said this and you did that, I mean that's that's how you automatically know. Like, oh no, you can only own what you say and what you feel and what you meant.
Hmm.
You can't
Yeah.
tell me what I meant by the thing. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It can go deep. It's levels to that, cause
yeah, it's a
some
lot.
people so good at it, man, and then don't take an account for you love them too. It's like, man, because you like, man, I don't want to argue. I don't want to, let okay, cool. I just say it was me. No, man, we ain't doing that. No, we ain't doing that. You
If I
gonna have
don't
to
feel,
own up to, like, it's this thing where it's like, so, man, this stuff is so deep because it's like it's truth to saying like, how you treat me. Like, if you do something to me, you can't try to gauge how I respond. And there's some validity to that. But at the same time, if we mature, grown adults, and I say I love you, I care for you, you can hurt me, but I am still responsible for how I treat you and what I do to you. I still have to fit. You know what I'm saying? I still gotta be some type of calm, or some. I still gotta care. But people will be like, well, if you didn't do X, Y, Z, then I wanna. Oh, you gaslighting. Like, that's straight gaslighting. You gotta stop. Like, no, you gotta stop making excuses for your character. But that's all I'm saying on that.
No, that's good. That's actually a good. I don't know if we've talked a bunch about gaslighting, but I feel like we
Mm-hmm.
have. We touched around it maybe, but not
Yep.
directly to it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
yeah, that was a
Yeah, that was a
good
good question,
that was a
Ashley.
good
That was
question.
good.
Yeah, that was a good
Thank
question.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
We be one y'all to talk.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, if you got questions, and we gonna have days where we just do Q&A. We just do Q&A and all that. But if you got a question, especially if it's relating to what we already talking about, yeah, definitely go ahead and drop that in there
Yeah.
in the chat. But okay, we gonna move on. We got a topic from Brandy from Threads today that I want to touch on. Saw that Brandy. That was recently, a more recent post of yours,
Mhm.
and I thought that was a good topic. About you being vulnerable, and then people, uh, just knowing when to be vulnerable, and should be people be entitled to you being vulnerable. Because me
Mhm.
personally, I'm big on transparency, being vulnerable with people when you getting to know them and stuff like that. Tell your truth. You ain't got nothing to hide, but also, that's a freedom for me. That's not nothing you can demand
Mhm.
from me.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
that's something that's if I'm comfortable enough, I'm gonna do that. But you can't demand that from me. So, what's your what? Do you know what inspired that? Maybe.
I'm always random. Like, always just random with stuff anyway. So I don't even. It probably wasn't even none that inspired it. Just some random thought. But I think people always want you to like talk. All right, share with them. Show me what's going on. I want to help you. How can I help? But the thing is, I feel like a lot of people are not safe spaces. Like, just because you use the words of somebody that's safe, or you know the language and the phrases, just because y'all do that, that does not mean you're a safe person. So I believe in only being vulnerable with safe people. So now for me, I test vulnerability with people. So I only share stuff, like, especially newer people coming around. I only share stuff that I already know is out there. I
Hmm.
want to see if you gonna go tell it. Because when I tell you, I'm gonna tell you something that I know ain't like really really out there where know. But I'm gonna say something and see how you handle that. And then if you can handle those, I tell stuff that I don't mind getting out too. So let me just say that I'm not gonna tell nothing that if you go and repeat it, it's gonna crush me. That other people gonna find out about it. So I'm not gonna tell those type of things. But I'll be
Hmm.
vulnerable about things that, hey, if I came to terms with it, you can't use it against me, no matter who you tell it to. So I always believe people should. That's the only time you should be being vulnerable to people, is when you're testing them with things that you don't mind getting out. And as time gone on, as you see how they handle that information, if you see, as you see that they're safe, as you see that if y'all have disagreements and they're not throwing it in your face, or they're not going to tell other people, then open up some more to them. But other than that, no, go talk to a therapist. Go talk to, if you safe with your mom, or your parents, because even nowadays, even parents ain't safe spaces. They tell the whole family, but
Right.
and then the family go tell the other family. So it's
Right.
like just yeah, yeah.
No, no, that's yeah, that's I agree with that. I feel like, that's a natural progression in a relationship where you can be vulnerable with things that, like you said initially, that you could tell anybody, and then you get to some stuff as time goes on, and a person has nurtured that vulnerability, then you feel okay with sharing more,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not something that anyone can force you to do, you know. Just a small example, I dated a girl before I dated my wife. They both got, I was moving to Georgia at the time, right? And they both knew I was moving to Georgia, but they both heard two different reasons of why I was moving to Georgia, you know,
Okay.
because there's a deep reason I moved to Georgia, and then there's a not so deep reason I moved to Georgia, right?
Right.
So, girl I dated before my wife, she wasn't a safe space,
Mm-hmm.
so when she asked me about it, I gave her the general answer,
Yep.
okay. My wife got the real answer,
Yeah.
you know. She was a safe space. I could talk to
Mm-hmm.
her, I can open up to her, and she
Mm-hmm.
didn't feel entitled to that information, you know what I'm saying, at
Mm-hmm.
all. And
Yeah.
that made it even easier for me to open up to her,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yep.
you have to know the difference between you open up to a person because they ask, and
Yeah.
you open up to a person because you feel safe to open up to a
Mm-hmm.
person. You
Yep.
can tell anybody, I can tell a person on the street the information, like you said, but
Mm-hmm.
stuff runs a lot deeper than that. And if I don't trust you like that, you're not gonna get the same amount of me that the next person might get.
Yeah. And that's only right. It's only right. I know people be like, I did a video, and it was actually an old video from probably about 4 or 5 years ago, but I just reshared it recently, and somebody was like, oh, so what they say? So people get to determine how you act. I said, if that's what you want to say, then yeah, because I am not about to share certain things with certain people. Like how you are, that's the version that determines the version of me you get. So
Yeah,
if you're saying like I'm allowing people to change me or make me be a certain way, then yeah, sure, yep, I am. But, people got these like look manipulative ways. They got they like to say little stuff to manipulate you into certain things. And I'm
right.
like, if that's how you want to view that, then yeah, you're right. I allow people to change me, sure do. In
Try
the
to work.
meantime, how you are, that determines the version of me that you get. You're gonna get a surface level, a mid level, a no level, or a deep level. Like, hey,
Look, it's funny how people try to say stuff in a way to try to, reverse psychology. What I'm saying, try to trick you into. First of all, I ain't got to prove nothing to you.
look, gaslight.
Okay, look,
That's what I
gaslighting,
said. Like,
gaslighting. Yeah,
yeah, like
you
I
know,
know what I'm over here doing, but you trying to like force into me a different, like a different narrative. Like, no, that's not the narrative. But okay, you saying that's what it is because that's how you perceive it or that's how you see the world. That's not what I'm saying. And if you ask for clarity, I'll explain further of what I'm saying. But you're not. You're like, oh well, so you just let people. Yep, I let
so,
people change me. Yep, you're right. I do.
so- sure, you got it. You spot
Sure.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that. 'Cause like I said, that's and many people don't know that people are doing that. 'Cause they fall right into that, and like, oh no, I'm trying to. You don't have nothing to prove to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to share about yourself and your life is yours to share at your discretion. Okay, you don't owe anybody that information at all. Okay, if you choose to share, you choose to share it. If you choose to show them that side of you, that's what you choose. It's just people that don't know I do relationship advice. If we ain't in that type of space for me to share that, why would I share it? Like
Yep.
why would I show you that side of me? Why would I show you something that, and plus I'm not finna be sitting here arguing with people because I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not sharing it to prove nothing to men or women,
Mhm.
but if I don't feel like I'm in that space where we can have an intelligent or even a constructive conversation, then I'm not showing you that. You never know that I do that. You never know that I even feel these things. Like, and I'm okay with that. I don't have anything to prove to you. The people who need to hear it, the people who want to hear it, will
Mhm.
hear it. And the people who are in my life that know that side of me, they're not surprised by me doing going live and talking about relationships. Like they're
Yeah.
not surprised about that. But if you don't know me like that, you be like, dang, what's going on? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. They'll think something going on with you and your marriage. Like, why he on live talk about relationships and he married? He on live with a single person talk about relationships. you
Oh
know
yeah.
you know how people like to go and do this. But yeah, I just believe we have the power over our lives, right? Like, you give the access and you take it away. Like, that is totally up to you. I don't I teach people how to treat you, right? People think like, oh, I need to like show you how to treat me. Yes, you can do that subconsciously too, though, because if you keep talking crazy to me after I express to you that I don't want you talking crazy to me, but then you want to know all my business, then guess what? I'm going to either remove the access completely, or I'm going to put you back. You're going to stay at surface level. Like, you're never going to get the deep parts of access to me. And you're going to feel that void, because I'm gonna make sure you feel that void. There will be no closeness. But it's up to you. You can give the access and you can take it away. Don't let nobody guilt trip you up on that, because reality is you will teach people how to treat you. Family, friends, relationship, whatever it is how do you want to be treated. So I don't care about you coming asking me questions about my personal life, especially somebody on social media, and then they be like, "Oh, you lied." I sure did, because I don't even know why you thought you had enough rank to even ask me that question. I sure did lie. you know so it's I'm telling you, like, I be cool. Like, I be whatever you want to say about, I'm cool. Yep, I did, I lied. I sure did.
And look, like you said in the post, like if I'm giving you information and or why would I give you information? You can told me all of everybody's business,
Mm.
and you
Yeah.
think I'm finna tell you my business?
Mm.
Like you done told everybody. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
telling you. And look, I had to get on my sister for this when my nephew was younger. When he was younger, she'd be telling the whole. I'm like, hey,
Nope.
stop telling everybody what this boy got going on. Keep that between y'all. Like
Yep.
straight up, keep
You
that
know what's
between
funny?
y'all.
So my son had went through something, and I asked him, and I was upset about it. And I asked him, and I was like, I said, if I tell your uncle, you know he gonna get on you. You want? Should I tell him? He said, no, please don't tell him. And now he ain't done it again. This was years ago, and he ain't done it again. But I was like, as a parent, what's crazy is because we want a village, especially as women. We want a village. We need men and to help us raise our sons. But at some point too, we gotta learn, when do you cross that boundary of, or that line now that you're no longer a safe parent. We
Mm.
talk about our kids hiding stuff from us. We want our kids to talk to us, but it's like, you gotta be real. If you telling your family everything about your child and all them fussing at him or they looking at him a certain way and all of that, do you really think your child is gonna feel like you're safe? And then you're gonna be wondering why they sneaky. Kids are already sneaky anyway. So you don't want to push them away to more to now, like, not look at you as safe, or they can't be vulnerable with you, and they got to go to the world because mama and dad, they talk too much. They tell everybody my business. So that's another realm too.
Look, you said your kids is already sneaking. Look, I got a 3-year-old who will look me square in the face. No, I ain't eat them cookies, Dad. No, I didn't do that. I don't know who ate them.
It's yeah,
Okay.
second nature.
Look, and look, you gotta at least give them a chance to. You gotta at least give them a chance. Give yourself a chance, really, to do good and for them to trust what you got going on. You got to give yourself a chance. You know. But yeah, I think this is a good a good topic that you had put up, on threads because I was like, man, that's so true about this. I felt entitlement with people and wanting to know your information instead of just being a good. How about you just be a good person who a
Exactly.
person can open up to you,
Yeah.
and that can be it. I think prying for information is a weird. I've never been that type of person. And even if I'm curious about something, I would like to know a bunch of things about a bunch of people, but I'm just not a. I just don't be wanting to pry like that. If they don't feel comfortable enough to tell me naturally, I don't feel comfortable trying to get them because I don't want to. I don't want juice. I'm not looking for gossip. I might be curious, like what some real information, about you or your situation, that can help me. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty good post
Yeah.
right there. But yeah, we got who is that? Oh, okay, Leo
I
saying what's
had
up.
a look. It had froze up on me laughing. I said we almost was done.
Hey, we
The one froze up.
we got mostly through it, right?
Yeah.
We got mostly through it. But yeah, whoever's watching, like I said, we're gonna do for one. We're gonna be doing more stuff for you guys, and we're gonna do some weekends where we just doing Q&A. We just doing Q&A. So whatever topics that you guys want to rap about, um, definitely you can wait till we get on live. You can inbox me. I don't know if you can inbox Brandy. I don't know how your
They
setup
might be able
is.
to. I can look at my phone while. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We gonna get a. We'll talk when we end this because I want a little structure. Because sometimes I don't like checking my phone trying to see if they sending questions or whatever. It's like
Hmm. I got you.
we'll talk about it.
All right. All right. But yeah, we go ahead and end. I think that's a good place to end this. Some good conversation and good back and forth. Like, that went by very quick. But like I said, make sure you follow me and Brandy on Facebook, Instagram. We got all these lives are on YouTube. You just got to go to the live section of Brother Love page, and you can see it on there. And what I say, Facebook as well. Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Oh, and Threads. That's what I'm missing. Threads. Follow us on
Oh,
Threads. Brandy posts a lot of good stuff on Threads. I post every once in a while. Threads. You gotta want to say a lot of stuff on Threads. Like,
yeah,
man, like I'll be like, man, I got a lot of stuff to say. Whew. Like on Threads, yeah. If you like a talker, if you got a lot that you want to just get out, but I got to get out the mindset of I'm only thinking about dating, relationship, marriage stuff to say on Threads. You can say a lot more. That's just my. If I don't have nothing to say in those areas, I'd be like, I
yeah,
don't want to just.
yeah. I mean, I stick to certain things too. I don't get into like a lot of that religion talk, politics, some of that celebrity talk. Like I kind of stay away from that too. If I see somebody post it, I might engage in the comments if it's somebody who I've engaged with before and we kind of got like a good rapport
Mhm.
to talk about those type of things. Other than that, I just stick in my lane. Personal growth, accountability, yep, relationships, healing. I just stick to that. But we got some as we get ready to close out, like he said, follow our social medias. We gonna start doing the Q&A session. We gonna do some, our normal lives. We both had like some personal things going on, so we ain't been able to get on live as much as we wanted to. We also got like events we got planning, book
Yeah, yeah.
clubs, or not book clubs, like just Zoom classes.
Zoom. Yeah.
So we got some stuff that we want to do together for you guys, and it'll be coming from somebody who's currently married, which are 11 years in.
11 years. Yeah.
11 years in married, me, somebody that's divorced, been divorced since 2013, have not really been in nothing serious. I've been dating, I've been almost close to being having somebody to post. You know, y'all like posting people, but we ain't really got there yet or nothing like that. But you gonna get a good scope, especially in those Zoom classes we gonna do. So
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. All right. Cool. Cool. All right, you guys can catch us again another time. Look, I ain't finna say a time. We gotta make sure we good on that front too.
if you ever catch us live, it'll be Sundays. Sundays
Maybe
only.
Sunday. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good. Yeah, yeah. All right.
Possibly two p.m. ish.
2,
Possibly. I don't
2,
know.
2 p.m.
You
Yep.
know, life be doing what life be doing. So we be playing it, and then yeah. So
Look, the internet and technology does what it's going to do too. That messes us up sometime too. But you know, keep rocking with us. Keep rocking with us. Hey. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and end this.